National Women's Policy, launched on March 8, aims to address the rising cases of domestic violence against women. But how effective will it be? Ameena Siddiqi from Sisters in Islam weighs in on the policy's potential impact and the challenges ahead.
It seems promising, but the issue would be, how will it be implemented? Will it be implemented well? This policy could, if implemented well, address many of the gaps in protection and support that currently exist. However, the success depends very much on consistent funding and strong political will. Now, when it comes to political will, we lack political will when it comes to women's rights. So how far this national women's policy is going to be implemented and how well managed remains to be seen. It's the right step in the first place, but they would definitely need significant reforms and much better implementation than what we have seen previously.
Ameena also examined the reality faced by domestic violence survivors in seeking help and the accessibility of existing support systems.
Actually, if you look at the current situation, we do have the laws, the Domestic Violence Act 1994 and various protection orders like emergency protection orders and interim protection orders. These are available, but the real issue lies with enforcement and accessibility. There are also reports of police officers when they do make reports, turning them away, saying this is a private matter. So and many women feel very ashamed to move forward with it. So, and legal support is also another big problem. All right, because most survivors can't afford lawyers. They have about 42 approved shelters in Malaysia, which is definitely insufficient for a population where half the population are women. That makes approximately 16 million women as of 2023. So definitely and a lot of these shelters are actually in urban areas. So leaves the victims in rural areas with very few options. So how accessible are these shelters is also another question, right?
Domestic violence cases surged to over 7,000 last year, compared to 5,500 in 2023. Ameena shares key trends Sisters in Islam has observed through their service helpline.
One of the notable patterns that we notice is domestic violence has become the leading cause of divorce among Malaysian Muslims. All right. Now, in 2023, about 20% of divorce cases handled by Telenisa were due to domestic violence, surpassing other reasons like communication breakdown. And this is a sharp increase from 15% in 2020. So from our numbers, within the Muslim household in terms of divorce, domestic violence is the leading cause. And another worrying trend, and this is very important for us to understand, is the link between domestic violence and financial abuse. Financial abuse is always overlooked, but it is a form of abuse. Now, in many cases, the involved husbands not providing nafkah, which is financial maintenance. And so when they don't provide nafkah, and this causes economic control. And there is also a rising issue of child maintenance. 47% of fathers fail to provide adequate support after divorce. This leaves many women struggling financially and mentally. So our data also shows that women often endure years of psychological and emotional abuse before seeking help. Up to 13 years of marriage, between 4 to 6 years of marriage, then only they will at least try to leave. So all these patterns actually highlight that domestic violence is not just about physical abuse, but also includes financial and emotional dimensions.